What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over my top 5 books that I'm most excited about digging into and reading for 2021. It's going to be a good list. It's not all the books that I want to read for 2021, but these are the top 5 that I'm the most excited about getting into for this year. Now I'll start off by saying I did put a challenge on myself this year to read one book every single month, so 12 books in the year. I already have one book completed. I completed it a couple days ago. I'll go over that as well. The book that I read, it's actually not part of these 5, but then these are going to be 5 books that I'm most excited about reading this year. I think I'm going to get the most out of them. It's a pretty diverse group of different books on different topics, whether it be personal development, creating a better routine, or just maximizing your time the most effectively and being the best individual and human that you possibly can be. So 5 books that I'm most excited about reading, and then at the end I do also have one other small snippet. It's an audio book, it's an audio excerpt, it's only a couple minutes long, and I want to go over that as well because I did listen to it a couple days ago and it really stuck with me. I got a lot out of it, so I'm going to throw that in at the very end as well. So stay tuned, we're going to be going through the list and then getting that golden nugget at the end. And of course, one small thing I got to get out of the way before we move into the list here, and that is one small favor that I can ask of you guys: to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content that you have been receiving, the content that has been slung at you, for lack of a better term. I am a smaller channel, so it does really help me out with liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you do enjoy it. So now that I've got that housekeeping out of the way, let's get on to the list. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about on this list is the book that I just finished, actually. So the book that I read for January, and that is right here, The Dichotomy of Leadership. Amazing book, not going to be part of the top 5 that I'm talking about here. Not that I don't think it's not a good book, but just something that didn't necessarily click with me the most. This would be a fantastic book if you are into leadership at all, if you have a team that you lead existing, or if you are interested in the overall area of leadership. This is a fantastic book. It's written by someone who was in the Army, who was a leader in the Army, so it goes into a lot of the pluses and minuses of having to put those people into battle and trusting in them, and also being a leader that has people on the battlefield like that in harm's way. So great read. It's a smaller book as well, so it's something that you'd be able to put away pretty quickly. But just, I'm not huge into leadership myself. I find it very fascinating, but it's not something that I personally am a leader or do anything like that. So that's why it didn't hit the most home with me, but still an amazing read. The writing in the book is great too, even from being a military individual. He did write the book very well. So a great recommendation that I would say, The Dichotomy of Leadership. Very happy that I did read it. That was the book that I read for January, so I knocked one book off the list. Great read though. Definitely take a look into it. Alright, and the first book coming up on this list that I'm going to enlighten you guys with is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Very excited about reading this book. I've only heard good things about it, and I've always been someone that kind of battles with insomnia and just wanted to read something that really dove into how sleep works, why we dream, different levels of sleep, and how to get the most out of sleep that you possibly can. So to stop dreading it and start enjoying it, and understanding how much of a necessary principle it is into your productivity, your overall health, your wealth, your well-being. Sleep is a huge, crucial part of it. So not that this book is going to make me necessarily a better sleeper, but I think it'll at least provide a better understanding of exactly why we sleep, so that I can implement a better sleep routine into my life. So this is one that is kind of falling along the personal development side of things. Everything here is pretty much personal development oriented, but I think this is just going to kind of tie everything together. It's not necessarily business related, but it is going to make you a better person and better capable of dealing with the day-to-day stresses and being more awake and with it, be able to do your best work kind of thing. So that's why I wanted to read this guy. I think this is going to be my February book coming up on the list. These are in no chronological order necessarily, but am really interested in this one. I think this is going to be for February. So stay tuned. I'll probably do some kind of review or let you know how it is after the fact. But Why We Sleep, Matthew Walker, very excited about this one. All right, and the next book I have for you here is going to be a real estate related book. This is one that I have an Audible account, so it's one that I have been listening to on Audible. I'm probably a quarter of the way through it or so. I like listening to audiobooks whether I'm going to the gym or if I'm just driving somewhere. It's just something that I find more enjoyable than music. Kind of keeps your mind going a little bit more, as opposed to listening to the same songs over and over again on your local radio station. Just my 2 cents. But the book that I'm talking about, and this is one that like I said, I've already been through probably a quarter or a third of the book, and that is the book on rental property investing. Fantastic book by Brandon Turner, and this is one that just goes over kind of how to house hack, how to build your real estate portfolio through rental house investing, whether it be single family or multifamily, whether it be apartments. He goes through a lot of different scenarios on how to do it, how he did it, and how some of his friends have done it as well. It's a very, very comprehensive book. It's easy to read, it's easy to listen to, so it's not a lot of like real estate jargon or verbiage kind of stuff. Very, very comprehensive. Awesome book so far, and I think it's only going to get better because I think he saves more of the examples towards the end of the book, so it's a lot of like fundamental, going over all of the textbook kind of stuff at the beginning, and then a lot of exemplatory stuff down the back end of the book from chapters like 10 on. So very excited to see how the example flow goes. So far, very, very interesting and captivating book if you are interested in rental real estate or just real estate in general. He does a very good job at explaining it. He's been in the market for a long period of time. He's part of the Bigger Pockets podcast and forum, which is a fantastic real estate resource online. So it's just a really good book to read, really good area to be in if you're looking to grow your real estate knowledge. He has a couple other different books as well, some on rental property investing, some on some other different real estate topics. I'm sure I'm going to read more into them, but this is the first book that I chose from Brandon Turner, and I have good things to say about it so far, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the book goes. All right, and the third book on our list, guys, is going to be a book by John Gordon, and this is a book called The Energy Bus, and this is something more about how to bring more positive energy into your daily life, bring more positive energy into the workplace, and more focused energy. So being less distracted, and just being able to be the most efficient and productive individual that you possibly can. I know that we've all gone for that second cup of coffee at 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, and I'm hoping that it's something that will kind of restructure how I view my day, maybe task orient my day to be the most energetic when I need to be, and then understanding that there's downtime as well. So I don't think that this book's going to necessarily give me more energy, but just maybe put a better perspective on how to bring more positive energy into your work so that you can enjoy it a little bit more. At least that's what I've read from the reviews. I think that it looks like it stands up to its tale of being the energy bus there. So just being able to fuel your life with a little bit more positive energy, mainly your work life, and enjoying that work-life balance a little bit more. So not necessarily dreading work, loving your time outside of work, but maybe having a little bit more of a balance between the two and enjoying work a little bit more, having more positive energy in there. I know we could all have that in our life a little bit more because the workplace has some negative connotations to it. So if we can change that around, I think the world would be a better place. All right, and fourth book that I'm going to be looking at reading is going to be another business personal development book. This is a book that my girlfriend got me for Christmas, actually, and this is called Traction. This is what I've heard of, at least, is a book about how to get more of a grip on your business so it can gain better traction in the marketplace, get better leads, better marketing, and really better growth to grow from 0 to 60, at least in the infancy of the business. So a lot of this is how to start, essentially, and get a grip on your business is what the slogan is. It's written by Gino Wickman, and I've heard great things. I've had a couple friends that have recommended me this book as well as some online sites. So something that I'm just excited about reading to implement in the 2 businesses that I have, my paddleboard business and then my auto detailing business. Something that I'm hoping I can grab a few pointers out of this and directly implement them right into the business, see where it goes from there. So it says that it's part of Attraction Library right here, so I'm guessing there's other books in the series. If I like this one, I'm sure I'll get into more of them. But I'm thinking that this is going to be one that's going to be reading information that I'm going to be able to directly use in my day-to-day and business life. So something that's maybe a little bit less conceptualized and more just actual facts that you can implement in your business. Really excited on this one. I think this one's going to make the biggest overall direct difference. again, I'll let you know how it goes more and more I get into it. But a book that I'm definitely excited to get into. This is probably going to be something closer to the summertime when business is really starting to pick up. But Traction, Gino Wickman. All right, and the fifth and final book, the book that's going to round out this epic list, is going to be a book by Ray Dalio, which is called Principles. And this is going to be more of a book that I just look to get good wisdom from. A lot of the greats have read and reviewed this book, like on the front, Bill Gates, Tony Robbins. Again, New York Times bestseller, like most of these books are. But this is just something that I really hope I'm going to get overall wisdom through about what good principles people that are successful have versus those individuals that maybe be not so successful, and some of the principles that they implement that aren't so good for them or aren't so healthy. So I think this is going to be just an overall book of wisdom, something that I'm really going to need to soak up. And this is probably not going to be a summer read for me, probably more of like fall or early winter, sometime when I can really slow down and absorb what's in this book. So really excited to get into this one. I'll let you guys know how this book goes as well, because I think I'm the most excited about what I'm going to get out of this as just absorbing as a human being and being an overall good person. But again, something that's going to be a little bit later in the year, I think, on this, but very excited to get into Principles by Ray Dalio. And that is going to round out the overall list of 5 books that I am the most excited about getting into in 2021. And stay tuned. I'm going to give you that little golden nugget right here of something that I listened to in the past couple days that really enlightened me, and I think you're going to enjoy it as well. All right, guys, I don't know if you're ready for this, but I'm going to slap it on you anyway. This is a little audio excerpt. It's only about 25 minutes long. I highly suggest that you listen to it by the end of the night tonight if you possibly can, or in the very near future. It's only 25 minutes out of your life, and you'll get so much more value out of it than the 25 minutes that you put into it. And it is written by an author of one of these books that I listed off, actually the author of The Energy Bus, and that's John Gordon. And the excerpt that I'm talking about is something called The Coffee Bean. I know that they have it on Audible for download on audiobook. They probably have it on YouTube. I'm sure there might even be a TED Talk on it, being that it's that shorter format. So just Google The Coffee Bean, or if you can find it on Audible, if you have an Audible account, look on YouTube. I'm not going to preface it at all, other than it is just a fantastic use of 25 minutes of your life. It really lets you think a little bit outside of the box, and you will definitely be able to take something away from that audio excerpt that he talks about that you're able to implement in your day-to-day life to become a better person. So look up The Coffee Bean. Other than that, these are my 5 books that I'm most excited about getting into in 2021. I will do a comprehensive review of all these books, I'm guessing, later down the line once I do get through all of them, to let you know which books lived up to my expectations, which ones flopped and were not up to par, and which books I would kind of put in the middle. But I'm thinking that a lot of these are going to be winners. I'm hoping that I am correct on that, but I'm excited once I get a few pages turned and start soaking up some of this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying this content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.